Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. Today we've got a little update on the free to play and the progress there, and more importantly, we do have information on the Summon Rush event, which is coming this weekend. It is a very good one, but definitely be warned. We're going to talk about that. Let's look at the champions first and what we've got going on. So this is for 72 hours. Um, yeah, from your ancients, your primals, your sacreds, Lady Kimmy, Theodore the Savant, Prince Kymar, Gamaran, and Arman's the Magnificent. I'm sure you see this one down here already. Queen of Hearts. Yes, she's in there. We'll talk about the normal ones first. Obviously, if you don't have Arman's, that becomes extremely tempting, doesn't it? Like, if I did not have Arman's and I was on Mercy, I'd be pretty tempted to grab him. I mean, he gets banned nearly every time in live arena, but that is forcing the enemy to ban him from you. Um, I don't know. That's definitely a tempting one. Gamoran did get buffed. He's kind of fun. Uh, but maybe I don't know. Would he be worth pulling for over some of these? Whereas Kymar obviously is giving you a full team reset, which is insane. I'm actually gonna maybe mark that up higher. Like if you don't have a reset champion, maybe you could. I'll mark it down a little bit. Maybe you could get away with Renegade in most teams, but having a big reset for Seer, especially, is really nice. Theodore, really good. I mean, one mark against Theodore would be that, I mean, a lot of people been playing for a while will probably have gotten the stock, the Broken Fusion, and they're very similar. Theodore is better at soloing stuff, but in like a Poison Explosion team, they're kind of comparable. I mean, I'm almost talking as if you would run them separately when, where is Theodore? Of course, you could run them together in the same team and they'd be really good. But yeah, Theodore is obviously extremely strong. I was actually thinking, gosh, for my free to play here, Theodore would be one of the best possible champions. He's just nuts. AoE poisons, increase speed for the team, AoE decrease speed A1, blowing up both poisons and burns, and even potentially putting out weakens. Like, accuracy in all battles aura, great base stats. Like, this guy would be one of the best possible champions to get on an early account. He is just such a hard carry. So Theodore, very strong. The only mark against him is sort of the same mark against stock, which is, well, I mean, poisons and burn explosion. Not super relevant for the meta game at the moment. Right, whereas like resets, really relevant for nearly everywhere. Poisons, not so relevant. Lady Kimmy is very solid as well, especially for bomb teams. I just booked her up during CVC, during our CVC stream. Yeah, got a great speed aura for Zoom Tower if you need it. But yeah, the really good turn meter booster with increased accuracy, increased speed. Very nice with bombs for speed farming, arena and stuff. Very strong for siege. She's much better on offense than she is on defense, obviously, because bombs are easy enough to deal with when you know they're coming. But when you're setting up a defense, if you leave them vulnerable to bombs, Kimmy is super. There are budget options, though, that you could use instead. Let's come back to that in a second. Your epics in here, Tagore. Oh, Tagore, he's an MVP on the free-to-play. He's probably going to be... It's between him and Ugo, who's the next 60. But Tagore, hilariously got him in 3 pieces of Savage, the ultimate build, plus Perception for all of the debuffs that he doesn't have. Tagore, though, he is just such a good epic. I've talked about Tagore on the channel before. But yeah, he is really, really strong. So he's a nice progression epic. If you don't have him and you're like mid-game, he'd be definitely one to put in. Wiranon, I think is not as good as Tagore, but she does a similar sort of job where she's the increased speed reviver champ for her faction. So I'm looking at the legendaries. But yeah, she's got the single target revive. It's okay. Her meter boost, increased speed. Her base speed's decent. So she's okay, right? Decrease attack. She's a solid one. I do think Tagore is better. Creodon the Blue is, I would say, somewhat equal to Tagore. Creodon is super strong. I just used them to take down Fire Knight Hard and on my main account in the Cursed City Centranos, and you can use them for regular Fire Knight Hard teams as well. Triple hit A1 that can freeze. AoE, double hit with each hit can freeze. Turn meter boost with increased speed. And he gets turn meter boost when freeze is placed by him. Well, when freezes are placed by him, which is really strong. His base speed's a bit low. It's the only bad thing, but he's getting lots of turn meter here. But yeah, he's such a great epic. One of the best. Phenomenal. So very strong epics there. Now, the voids though. Ooh, Queen of Hearts. Tuhanarak is not bad. Uragrim is good. Demitha is very good. So the voids are very spicy. So obviously the big draw here is the Queen of Hearts. Um, this will not be the only event for the Queen of Hearts. We still have what, 2 months almost of this Alice event. There's definitely going to be, like, if you are looking to buy this with money, um, again, you'd be looking. I don't know. You have to work it out. $500 to $1,000 or something ridiculous. Probably about $500 or something. I don't know. $300 to $500 probably for voids or prism, but I could be way off. Someone will let me know in the comments that actually knows the numbers. I would expect a prism pool for her, and I would think the prism pool might be a bit better. Um, yeah, I think there's definitely going to be a prism event for this champion. I wouldn't be surprised if during 2x voids they might run a 10x for this champion as well. I'd be expecting lots of events for her. If you're on Void Mercy, this could definitely be worth going for. I certainly think one thing, probably the biggest impact this event will have is probably about 30 to 50% of the fights I'm going into and go for arena after this weekend are gonna have Queen of Hearts. Like, it's gonna be something stupid, I'm guessing, because people will just buy her. She's obviously very, very good, right? Gets the turn. If the enemy team gets too many buffs, well, every 10 buffs they get, she gets a turn. She can strip their buffs and put out True Fear, get turn meter boost, Death Brands revive on death. Then she's got a really good ally attack. Insane A1 as well. AoE decrease defense. I think she's a really good champion. I'm kind of thinking that she's probably not quite as good as Odin, but pretty similar. I could be wrong, though. Maybe she ends up being better than Odin. I don't know. But I kind of feel like Odin might be slightly better, but we'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. But she is a very solid champion, so she's obviously a big one to go for. And the Krakens are going to be out probably pulling for her, one would think. Tuhanarak is good, but I would rather get a Queen of Hearts, to be honest. And that reason being Tuhanarak, she's a solid support, but she doesn't shine in any particular area at the moment. Like, her block buff's just not reliable enough for Hydra anymore. I think there's better options. So she's very good, but Queen of Hearts I think is going to shine more in arena. She's going to be very strong, etc. Uragrim, he's very good. AoE poisons, healing, very, very nice. And Demitha is a big one. I mean, I'm obviously looking at everything and really at the moment in the context of the free-to-play. Demitha, with the block damage on a 3-turn cooldown, does unlock, and buff extension as well. She unlocks a lot of clan boss teams. I mean, it's the question. What would you do if you were a mid-game player? Would you, like, forfeit a Void 2x to pull for Progressive for Demitha for that chance to get, if you don't have clan boss locked down on, like, Nightmare, Ultra Nightmare, but you've got a few Voids saved up, would you go for it? I guess one of the problems is, unless you've got Nightmare, Ultra Nightmare locked down anyway, you probably don't have any Voids. So that's the thing. I don't know. Like, it maybe would make sense to try to chase a Demitha if you're stuck on Clan Boss, but you're probably not in a position to chase Demitha if you're stuck on Clan Boss. Let me know again what you think about that down here. But that could be obviously pretty insane for anyone that gets her early on. Now, of course, this Summon Rush needs to be looked at in context. It is this one over here. We have another Summon Rush coming on Tuesday. It's not far away at all. And this bonus Summon Rush on Tuesday will have 50 fragments in it, whereas this one on Friday, Saturday, Sunday only has 25. So, depending on where you're at with fragments, you might need to be doing this extra one anyway. Besides the point, this extra one is sort of in the middle of nowhere. There could easily be a Titan event starting on, like, Tuesday that might tie in with the Summon Rush. Or the Summon Rush might have some other really good rewards in it. I don't know. Maybe there'll be nothing special about it. But for me, I would say that this Summon Rush is probably worth aiming for instead. There's very tempting champions for this weekend. However, I think that the rewards, the Summon Rush itself, is likely to be better on the Tuesday one. So for me, I am going to be skipping this one this weekend, and I'll be going for the one on Tuesday, just in case it does line up with, like, a Titan event or something, or if there happen to be really good rewards in there. I want to have my shards saved to make it doable, and I don't need the 25 from this Summon Rush over here. And I do think getting the full 50 is likely to be cheaper than going 25 here and 25 on Tuesday. I mean, like, let's say it's whatever. it might be 5 sacreds to get the 25 and then 5 for the 25, whereas it might be like 8 to get the 50. So you might save like 2 sacreds in the difference. It could be something like that. Then again, it might not. This is the problem. It's really all guesswork. We don't know for sure. And that's a really big problem. And that's where we're at. So yeah, again, there's a lot of feedback you guys can give in the comments. A lot of room for opinions here today. My take is that yeah, for me, I would be going for like Queen of Hearts and probably Armans would be the big ones, and I'd probably be grabbing. I think Creodan the blue has the most late game potential, and I guess Demitha as well for me. But again, at the same time, I'm skipping this summon rush and waiting for Tuesday. That's my thoughts. Let's take a look at the free to play, where we've made lots of progress. I actually got super lucky today. I unlocked the soul thing, and I pulled a bunch of souls. These are the souls I've pulled so far. I've just been pulling everything. I do have a 4-star Kinagashi, which is not that useful. She's like the ally attack champion, but she doesn't really do much damage. But I've got it. But I've just been pulling them, and I got lucky today, and I pulled a 2-star Kale. So something that I had not really realized much before, but the energy cost for Iron Twins at stage 15, I think it's 20 energy. It's actually not really, when you consider you get way more rewards, it's not really that much higher energy cost wise than the lower stages. These low stages are super expensive, like 12 energy for a run for how little you get is absolutely brutal. That being said, the first time you clear stage 3, you do get like basically 1 mortal soulstone. So I'm basically going to clear stage 3 on all of these rotations, come back then, I don't know, in a week or so, maybe try clear up to stage 6 for some more, then eventually stage 9, maybe 12 to 15. Probably too difficult, but yeah, I went with the YOLO strategy, just trying to get a good soulstone for someone I've got, and we got the 2-star for Kale, which is a really nice boost early on. Sadly, I did clan boss and stuff today before that, but yeah, we have the 15% chance for bonus damage, tiny bit of extra HP, and 450 attack, which is really good. Also, we do get you get some of this stuff for free when you obviously unlock this thing. You do get 20 of these as well, so you can buy 1 legendary soul. So now for my free to play, it becomes extremely impactful if we get lucky, and if a Sigmund soul shows up, we are in a really good spot because we can grab him 1-star Brimstone, 15% chance for smite. Number 1, it gives him a chunk of attack, which is huge at this point of the game. It's actually pretty huge at any point in the game. That's a ton of attack, even late game. But yeah, that smite could really help us. It could just accelerate us past so many bosses. So now it actually becomes very luck dependent. We could literally go the entire 3 months of the free-to-play challenge and never see Sigmund. I could never see him in the altar. Or he could show up tomorrow, and the difference between the two is absolutely astronomical. So we're praying for Sigmund is all we can do. I do have Alice. Got Alice. She's in 2-piece of Slayer that I got from doing a bit of the Forge Pass. Sadly, the Forge Pass is almost ending, which sucks. It would have been really good to push up. Like, there's really good rewards in here for a new player. Like, little speed glyphs, some banners and stuff. This would have been really strong, but there's just no way to get through much of it. I've been getting through some of it. Yeah, I'm gonna, I don't know, maybe grab some more Slayer stuff for forging before it ends, but maybe not. I don't think I even have many epic Slayer bits. I think I might have used them all. Let's actually double check. Have I used all my epic Slayer bits? Probably. Yeah, I've got none left, so that's sort of the Forge Pass value done for me. But yeah, Alice is sort of waiting. She's going to be waiting for a while. My goal is, I think when we get the 2-star soul for her, that's when she becomes really strong. I think for now, not that good. I'm actually going to keep, obviously, my best gear on Kale, especially. He's got a 2-star soul, Kale, and he's got Mastery Stone. He is the way to go. I'm going to try get Ugo and Tagore, maybe up to 60 first, then switch into Alice. I'm kind of unsure. Alice will be real nice for Fire Knight, which is where I'm kind of stuck, because she can do 2 to 3 hits, which is going to be pretty useful. So Fire Knight is where she's going to shine. And yeah. So where are we at with Clan Boss? Again, I did Clan Boss before putting that blessing onto Kale. So we're doing about 8 million on hard. We're onto hard, 8 million, which is doing sort of half. It's getting us halfway through. So we can easily get the Guardian chest. I think even if it flips to Force Affinity, which is not likely. I don't think anyone else in the clan is really doing hard. I'm going to switch clan tomorrow. But But yeah, so we can two key hard. I actually went into brutal, and again, I'm kind of pissed off. I did it early. I was like, maybe I think I can do it. I think I can do it. And you can't like free regroup at a clan boss, which sucks. But I went in. We got 4.98 million, and on brutal 5.43. I don't know if the Phantom Touch would have made enough difference. We're pretty close to being able to get a key in here. I can slam a second key in today and at least get the Guardian chest out of it. So I'll be able to get the 2 Guardian chests from each difficulty. But yeah, hopefully the next, yeah, it's probably sort of like 2 key hard, 2 key brutal for a while. We can probably get up to this master chest soon-ish. It's funny, like just War Master does all the work. It's literally just War Master and Kale's Poisons doing everything. And our other stats don't really matter because our other stats aren't really that good. And that's sort of where we are. Ooh, more Forge Pass. Yes, please. There we go. Get some Magisteel. That's useful. But yeah, builds. Just a quick build update. Kale. Kale is now like this. He's over 3,000 attack now, which is nice. 198 speed. His accuracy is a bit low. That's him. Similar sort of build. I did have to redo his masteries. I did redo his masteries to ditch Evil Eye and Lore of Steel. And I picked up Cycle of Magic. And I picked up Cycle of Violence. I think these are actually his ideal masteries. So I had to redo them. And there we are. But the idea is this sort of setup on the left is the best for clan boss. And then obviously Master Hex or Sniper are so strong for any bosses. And then Cycle of Magic is really good for clan boss as well. Sorry, Cycle of Violence is really good for wave-based content. So dungeons, faction wars, campaign. The campaign, we're farming just fine. It does speed it up a bit. But I think for faction wars and dungeons and stuff, it can make a bit of a difference. So I have gone with that. So we had to redo his masteries. And that's him. Sigmund, he's still going. I think he's in the same sort of build. Like so, 201 speed, 200 accuracy. He's great. I mean, we get him a blessing. He'd be almost 5,000 attack if he had a blessing, which would be insane. Ugo is like this. I got a pretty decent necklace for her early game. Double rolled accuracy, so that's great. Got an attack ring, but it rolled HP. Hey, great. So Ugo is like this. And Tagore is really slow. He's in my Savage Nuker gear. One thing I'm going to have to do some shenanigans. This is sneaky, right? I got to farm up medals in Arena. Then I've got to do 3 champions with level 16 artifacts. I've run out of silver. This is really hard. It's going to be a blocker. But what I can do with the free regearing to make it a bit cheaper is I need to like get this chest up to 16. Just cuz. Good for a HP nuker, but I don't have any, but it'd be good. And then I'm going to roll this weapon to 16 and then put the weapon and chest over onto Uko. And then I think I happen to have, I've got a level 16 lifesteal piece over there. Someone else is probably going to have a shield. There we go. We've got a shield over here. In fact, I can just roll up these 2 pieces and then put them onto Ugo temporarily. Or I could put Ugo's level 16 pieces onto Tagore temporarily. And we would have 3 champions with level 16 gear. And we'll do that. And then we're off, right? We're just blitzing through. Do some Ice Golem. Great. Arcane Keep can do that anytime. And then this is going to be the next blocker, 3 rank 6 champions. So I'm working on that next. And I'm debating. It's either going to be Ugo or Tagore. I'm not sure which one. Tagore is currently being booked. He is our only increased speed champion. Ugo is also fully booked. So Ugo's heal's pretty good. At 20% of her max HP. So getting her ranked up would be nice. Tagore, because he's in HP percent nuker gear. He's a HP percent nuker, but unfortunately his damage scales off of attack. It's quite tragic, but his healing is good. So he's actually healing a lot, but we'll need to re-gear him at some point. We just don't have any gear, no gear. And I'm not exactly sure how we're going to get any. CVC, by the way, our clan absolutely smashed their clan. Their clan only had 11 people actually take part, and one of those guys got 50 points. Our clan, I came second in our clan. I did 100,000 points in CVC. 30k obviously was Alice, which was very helpful. We had a few people did nothing. Maybe they weren't eligible. This guy did 400k. That's as much. He did as much as my main. So this guy in a random clan did as much CVC points as I did on my main account in top 10 clan in the entire game, which is hilarious. But we did grab all of tier 1 CVC rewards. I think that some, from what I've seen some screenshots that some of the CCs in the challenge set up like, they have clans, like high-end clans-ish, I think, and they got their free to play challenge accounts. They basically boosted them in their CC clans and got them like really high rewards. So they're walking away with a bunch of really good gear, which I think is kind of funny. I don't know what level. I mean, like if you put them into a tier 6 clan, you could get like some 6-star legendary gear and a bunch of void shard. Like you would get so boosted. It's crazy. Anyway, so I'm not sure. I don't know what's happening with that, but I thought that was quite funny. And yeah, I will be joining the official sort of Hell Hades free to play clan. I have to wait for Chimera. I'm stuck. So we are stuck because of clan versus clan. And then I did a Chimera key. So yeah, I'm stuck. I got 5 million on Chimera. Again, I maybe should have waited, but that's fine. Sadly, this clan is not going to kill Chimera. Only 14 people even did it and weren't able to do too much. So we came, what, third? We came third in the clan on Chimera, which isn't too bad. And wow, we came really close. That's ridiculous. We came super close to a guy that has a 6-star ninja, a 6-star fully ascended Kale. And wow, we did super well, all things considered. That's actually hilarious. Yeah, we have grabbed the top chest. Warrior chest is 4 million. So top chest of easy Chimera week 1. By exceeded it by a good bit, 4 million. I've done 5. 2 keys, of course, but done. So yeah, again, when we join the Hell Hades clan next week, I'll be looking to do this. The problem is on this free to play that completing the advanced quest, that energy is so strong right now in the game that like when the thing shows up, you know, use a Chimera key. My God, leaving it to the end of the week do so much more damage to Chimera because get more champs and War Master and whatnot. It's insane. But like leaving it to the end of the week, you're losing out on potentially so much energy. It's kind of brutal. So yeah, it's kind of a problem. But we're stuck in this clan for another whatever few hours anyway, until I think we can't battle. I don't know. Do we get Chimera rewards in 21 hours, or is it like what day is it today? Today's Thursday, isn't it? So yeah, I guess we do get the rewards on the Friday, or then does it go into like a no, okay, it's processing results. Unfortunately, I was ineligible for the Chimera Clash. Couldn't take part in that. But yeah, we'll join the Hell Hades clan. And I think Siege actually does start, yeah, level 45. I should hit that. So hopefully we'll be into Siege next week. Set up some Siege defense. I've got some very strong arena defenses. My level 1 Alice is going to take people down. You bet. But yeah, that's I think that's everything for the free to play. Guys, let me know how your free to play is going and whatnot. But that has been me. Plan at the moment is pretty much, I'm actually looking ahead. I'm obviously doing this quest here. This one is done. We'll have to put some energy into this. I'm actually working ahead then. I'm working on the 3rd rank 6 champion. That's my goal right now. So yeah, as you can see, I've got 3 food champs almost level 40. And then we need to get 2 more to 40 and then go. Oh, also a little bit of an MVP early game. Armiger actually does a lot of damage to Chimera. If we got this cooldown down, he'd be doing an enemy max HP hit every 2 turns. It's actually pretty good. And yeah, I probably end up getting him to 5-star and trying to get him a crit damage necklace. It'd be kind of nice. Actually, this would be pretty good. Sacred Order. It has a bit of crit damage. That'd probably be fine. Yeah, Armiger, I wouldn't mind getting him up to 50, simply because he's such a good turn meter control champ. But he's very hard to gear. He's very, very stat intensive. He needs 100% crit rate, which I have, but then it's very hard to get 100% crit rate while having high speed and accuracy and not flopping over dead. But he has been useful for Fire Knight and stuff like that. So yeah. Oh, I guess final thing to touch on, Sigmund was able to hard carry all of Bannerlord's. Now, what is ridiculous about this, I can't show you, but the team, if I can show you here, the team is literally a bunch of, it was a bunch of level 1 people with no gear on. How do we 3-star? Well, it's pretty simple. Pretty simple strategy. Basically, Sigmund would one-shot the wave, first wave with his A2, and then his shield is so strong, and there's no speed on these characters, that he would put the shield on wave 2, and they literally could not die. The enemy team literally can't break his shield, and then we would save his A2. I even set up a preset, guys. I set up a team setup. Look at this. Sigmund team setup. We turn off his A2 on wave 2, put on the shield, and they'd be super protected, and then he'd one-shot the final wave. That worked. level 60 Sigmund, all the way up to stage 7. So I just got a bunch of stars, which is great. And up to stage 7. Didn't work against the boss. This boss actually was very difficult. It swapped HP with Sigmund, and Sigmund actually doesn't have any healing. So we got past it. Yeah, I'm gonna try push up further. Maybe it will work on these higher stages, but I'm gonna obviously try push up as far as I can. One slight problem we do have is our factions are very spread out, right? So like Kale can do really well for Dark Elves, but I've got a Luria, but she's not going to help us very much in the faction crypt. Like we could level her up eventually for that's a bit awkward. Our faction stuff is very spread out. We do have 2 orcs with Tagore and Trumbor, so we could potentially roll up gear on Trumbor up to level 8 or something, and we could book him eventually. And maybe they could probably do pretty well. Like honestly, Tagore, because he's got a revive with a shield, again, he could probably do the same sort of thing as Sigmund. Just like clear the waves himself and then revive your champs at the end for the 3-star. Definitely potential there. But yeah, so that's where I'm actually going to switch some gear on this guy. I think I made some more. But that's enough for today. Let me know what you think about everything. That's where the free-to-play is at. And yeah, I will... Actually, let's check the leaderboards. Yeah, leaderboard, just to end on. We're 4th place at the moment. That is going to fall off. We're actually only 4th place slightly. Tracks on Sundays just squeeze past us. Dante Raids and Broken Not Dead are miles ahead, though. Ooh, Neva is right behind me. Crouching Grandpa, 2 of the guys from the Hades team. Hellhades.com, that is. Hell Hades is here as well. YST, etc. Mad Capper doing well. Bront Catherder. I can never say his name right. Bront Cat Space Herder. You need a space in there, Bront. Bront, you need to rebrand. It needs a space. It needs a space. Bront Catheter. No. Can't. I can't. It's not say it. It just happened. Oh, it's so bad. But yeah, 4th place. I think I will fall off. I mean, the problem is we pulled all our shards. I have 2 more ancients, but I pulled everything and I haven't got anything useful. Like literally, Soulband Bowyer is quite useful. I do think Gnarlhorn could be useful, but I'm not sure for what. The Soulbond could be decent, maybe. Honestly, probably the most useful new champion I've pulled, no joke, it's probably the Armiger, which is ridiculous. Paragon's also kind of useful too, actually. I have used him for the heal reduction, which is nice for the spirit keep. And he could cheese some stuff. We could cheese with Paragon. That's something for me to look into the future. I've never done a Paragon cheese team before. We might end up doing it here on the free-to-play. But that's a ways away. That's it. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.